Mukhtar ibn Abi Ubaidah Thaghafi is one of the most challenging characters in the history of Islam. Different theories have been expressed about his individuality and actions during his revolt. Some sources praised him, and others criticized him for various reasons. But what was Mukhtar Thaghafi's goal of the revolt? Did he seek to punish the perpetrators of the Karbala event and establish justice in society? Or did he use bloodlust for the Prophet's family as a delusive cover to gain power? As the Umayyads' opinion, did Mukhtar act as a prophet? To find the answer to this question, please stay with us until the end of the video. Hello there, lovely friends. I hope you're doing well. Please subscribe to our channel before watching this video, and click the bell button to be notified of new videos. Please like and share this video to show your support. Mukhtar was in prison at the time of the Karbala event. After his release, he sought revenge against the killers of Imam Hussein. At first, he accompanied Abdullah bin Zubair, who had risen to fight against Yazid in Hijaz, but he did not see him as his fellow believer, and in response to the suggestion of the associates to pledge allegiance to Abdullah, he stated that Abdullah's purpose was not compatible with his purpose, and therefore it is not good to swear allegiance to him. But at the end, with the insistence of the associates, he pledged allegiance to Abdullah bin Zubair on two conditions. The first condition, Abdullah bin Zubair should consult with him in problems and not do anything alone, and not disaccord him. The second condition, give Mukhtar the highest position in the reign. During the attack of Yazid's troops on Mecca, and the siege of Abdullah bin Zubair, Mukhtar fought with Yazid's army by his side. According to some sources, when Mukhtar saw that Abdullah was dealing with him in a tricky and cunning way, and claimed the vicariate, he left him and went to Kufa to prepare the arrangements for the revolt. At that time that Imam Sajjad was under the strict security actions of Abdullah bin Zubair in Medina. It is narrated that Mukhtar met with Muhammad bin Hanafiya before leaving for Kufa and acquainted him of his assumption to rise, and asked him to tell him what to do. Muhammad bin Hanafiya gave him permission, in general terms, and asked him to do not forget piety. Therefore, Mukhtar left Mecca to the destination of Kufa, and on the way he gave good news of conquest and victory to every people and community he passed. Mukhtar was a sapient and lettered man, and he spoke in such a way that many illiterate people of that time could not understand those words, and this was the excuse to introduce him as the bringer of new verses with the persuasion of the Umayyads. Another delation against Mukhtar is the connection with Gabriel. Mukhtar had a servant named Gabriel, and whenever he said Gabriel came to me, this was an enigmatic issue for stupid and illiterate people who thought that Gabriel meant the angel of revelation. Mukhtar never claimed to be a prophet. However, Mukhtar's entrance in Kufa was 6 months after Yazid's death and in the middle of the holy month of Ramadan. At the same time, Ibn Zubair had sent Abdullah bin Mudi to Kufa as ruler. One night, Some elders of Kufa went to Mukhtar and while acquaint him about the condition in Kufa, they reminded him that a group of Shia elders of Kufa, led by Suleiman bin Sorad Qazai, decided to rise against the Umayyads. Meanwhile, the existence of Suleiman and his revolt had become an issue for Mukhtar, and this problem weighed heavily on him. Mukhtar met with groups of Shiites to join him. Many Shiites joined him, but most of the Shiite elders were on the side of Suleiman bin Sorad, and they do not want to give up on him. Mukhtar eschewed from cooperating with them, because he did not see Suleiman suitable for the revolt. He also told the Kufis that Suleiman had no experience in the field of battle, and did not know the secrets of battle. Mukhtar, ignoring the Tawaban group, invited the people to the leadership of Muhammad bin Hanafiya, and supported the al-Bayt and called them to avenge for the martyrs of Karbala. During the meetings, Mukhtar acquainted them about the revolt, and his leave from Muhammad bin Hanafiya. Meanwhile, Umar bin Saad went to the ruler of Kufa, and spoke about that Tawaban are harmlessness, and Mukhtar is dangerous. Therefore, during the revolt of Tawaban, Mukhtar was imprisoned by the perpetrators of Abdullah bin Zubair. After the failure of the Tawaban revolt, Mukhtar invited the survivors of the revolt to pledge allegiance to himself in a letter. While they responded positively to Mukhtar's request, they sent him a message that they were ready to assail the prison and release Mukhtar. Mukhtar asked them to stop, because he will be free in a few days. He wrote a letter to Abdullah bin Umar, his sister's husband, Safiya bint Abi Ubaid, and asked him to intercession and arrange his release. Abdullah bin Umar did that, and Mukhtar was released from prison. When the governor of Kufa, Ibrahim bin Muhammad, made Mukhtar promise not to take any action against the reign, and to swear that if he did anything against the reign, he would sacrifice 1,000 camels, and free all his male and female slaves. Mukhtar also swore an oath, and was released from prison. After freedom, he said that sacrificing 1,000 camels is a small thing in front of my purpose, and I am also ready to achieve my purpose, and never have an own. Considering that government staff were monitoring Mukhtar's behavior, Mukhtar first secretly assigned people to gather forces. Mukhtar announced in Kufa that I am the delegate of Muhammad bin Hanafiya, and called himself honest, minister and sultan on his behalf, that he had risen on his command to fight against the atheists and avenge the blood of all al-Bayt. Mukhtar one day was with some Shiites, in the house of Sharar bin Abi Shara Hanafi. Abd al-Rahman bin Shari said, Mukhtar claims that he is the delegate of Muhammad bin Hanafiya. It is good for us to go to Medina, and find out the truth of Mukhtar's claim. The delegates, headed by Abdul Rahman bin Shari, went to Medina and met Muhammad bin Hanafiya, and inquired about the Mukhtar revolt, and his delegate on behalf of Muhammad. Muhammad answered, I swear to God, I want that God through each of his servants, take our revenge from our enemies. Allama Majlisi narrates from Ibn Nama, that Muhammad ibn Hanafiya took them to Imam Sajjad, so that they could obtain the duty. Imam Sajjad said, Uncle, if a servant from Zanzibar rises to support us, it is essential to the people to help him, and I delegated you in this matter, so do what is right. They came out of Medina and said that Imam Sajjad, and Muhammad bin Hanafiya gave us leave. And after returning, they confirmed Mukhtar's postulate. In order to advance the purposes of the revolt, Mukhtar invited Ibrahim bin Malik Ashta to join the revolt, at the suggestion of the Shiite elders. Ibrahim was unsure at first, but after seeing the letter of Muhammad bin Hanafiya, supporting Mukhtar, and the testimony of some Shia elders on the authenticity of the letter, he pledged allegiance to Mukhtar. As the second character of the revolt, he played an important role in the revolt. Therefore, the revolt started on Tuesday, 12 Rabiul Awwal of the lunar year 66, and finally, after a few days of struggling, Abdullah bin Mudi, the ruler of Kufa, escaped. Mukhtar entered Kufa Palace on Friday 15 Rabiul Awwal 66 lunar year, and Friday prayer was applied under his leadership. Before the prayer, he delivered 2 sermons, and explained the objectives of the revolt, and after that the pledge ceremony was started. After 18 months of rule and after a 4-month siege of the city of Kufa, finally Mukhtar came out of the palace Dar al-Amari, with 19 people and was martyred after an unequal war. This event happened on the 14th of Ramadan 67 lunar year. Although this revolt has gained a very desirable image among the Shiites due to its revenge against the killers of Imam Hussein, however, there are some haziness and questions in this revolt that have not been answered. These haziness are: why did Ibrahim avoid him at the end of the revolt? Why did Ibrahim refuse to help him after the siege of Mukhtar in Kufa? Was Abraham's separation from Mukhtar due to his distance from his original holy purposes? Why did Rifa bin Shaddad, one of the leaders of the Tawaban revolt, and one of the 5 Shia leaders, turn away from Mukhtar in the middle of the way, even though he was one of the first ones to swear allegiance to Mukhtar? But regard to the rightfulness of Mukhtar's revolt, it can be said. Mukhtar, in a meeting with the Shiite heads in Kufa, declared the purpose of his invitation and revolt as follows: Indeed, Muhammad Hanafiya, the son of Ali, the guardian and successor of the Prophet, has sent me to you as a trustee, minister, and commander, and has commanded me to kill those who consider the shedding of Hussein's blood lawful, and for the vengeance of his family, and defense of the weak. So you must be the first group to respond positively to my call. Tabari's History Book, Volume 5, page 580, Complete Book of Ibn Athir, Volume 4, page 172. In the meeting of Iraqi Shia deputation, with Muhammad Hanafiya and Imam Sajjad in Hijaz, they declared that Mukhtar invited us to your bloodshed. In response to them, Imam Sajjad and Muhammad Hanafiya declared that we want this to work and it is essential on the people to help him. Kitab Bihar al-Anwar, Volume 45, page 365. In the letter of Ibn Hanafiya to Ibrahim Ashta, it is stated, Mukhtar is my honest minister, and my chosen one, and I have commanded him to enter into war with my enemies and rise up to our bloodlust. All of you should help him in this way. 6, page 20, and Ibn Athir's Complete Book, Volume 4, pages 218 to 210. Unlike the gossip of the Umayyads and some overstatements, in the Mukhtar movement, Only the killers of Imam Hussein, and the operant of the Karbala event were punished, and in history, not even one case of assault on women, children and innocent people has been observed by him. But what is obtained from history it is that Mukhtar and his forces observed human principles and divine values. Thank you for watching this video all up to the end. If you enjoyed it, please like it and subscribe to receive notifications of new videos by clicking the subscribe button and the bell next to it.